When you wake up in the morning, everything is silent. No sounds of cars or talking. Nothing. You are now the last person on Earth. What do? I'm as nosy as it gets. I like to see how people live, interiors and such. So probably I would look into every and all homes possible. I'd drive to Washington, D.C. and check out the White House, the Situation Room, and nose around at the Pentagon. Go to Andrews and peek around in Air Force One, etc. Yeah, I'd definitely be going through people's shit and telling myself I'm looking for bottled water. Mom, is that you? Exactly this. It's why in answer to the question, would I rather be invisible or be able to fly? I will always choose invisible. Make a bucket list of everything I've ever wanted to do and have. Then start checking shit off. Last on that list, pilot a plane. Last cause, just in case I'm not very good. Everyone can fly a plane, but some folks can only do it once. Go to some middle of nowhere town. Somehow find more last people on Earth and have Ko Tutne Kol Me Li Ialo Li Ma. Slow down Tandy. Write a show about it. Make bank. Will Forte, is that you? Go back to sleep. First thought I had. Amen. Absolutely. Whatever anyone else says, this is what most of us would do. I second this. First thought I had also. I'm in North America, near the East Coast. I have limited time to get out of the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah? Here's a map of the world's nuclear power plants. After a few days, fail-safes in them are going to fail. Some will shut down without incident, but some will spew radioactive dust into the atmosphere and carry it by the winds. Stick that with the chance of fallout. You see the predicament. So my first task is to get from east to west ASAP. Take my car and drive after gathering some essentials, food that'll get me a day or two. I can replenish on the way. Fresh water. Toolkit just in case. Drive as far as is safely possible until I get to a major port on the west coast. On the way, gather essentials that contain information that help me survive. Atlases, how-to, books, stuff like that. Also get a handheld GPS. The satellites will be fine for the weeks I'll need. When the car's low on fuel, head off the interstate to a car dealership. Get the keys from the office, and try the fobs in the lot. They usually keep cars filled up for test drives. Transfer my shit over. Eid CLORUC and con. Also, at the earliest possibility before setting out, if there's still power and some internet. Get everything you can on Sailing the Pacific, including direct compass headings to take you from major seaports on the west coast to Sydney, Wright or Prindos. It's a heading of 241 degrees. When I get to the west coast, find a large ship that could take me there that has instructions on how to work it. 50-foot sailboat at a pinch. Cargo container ship would be ideal. Learn as fast as possible. Try out with other vessels. Then stock up for a major sea voyage and head out. Sail until I get there. I can beach the ship, nobody will mind. Set up some farming, get a food supply going. Live until I die. Wow, you really thought about this question, haven't you? But honestly, if I was the very last person on Earth, then I don't think I would worry about the nuclear plants. I would see that as a way to end the loneliness that I would feel soon after. Who would want to live in an empty world? I read something during an emergency planning class that nuke plants will be the last actively managed power plants to fail, and that they will simply shut themselves down when they eventually reach abnormal operation conditions. Short of major physical damage or manual overrides, they will never become unsafe from disuse. If you know otherwise, I'd love to know more. I live close to a couple large plants and always considered them safe. 100% something Dwight K. Schrute would say. I've worked nuclear power and fail-safes wouldn't fail, apart from sabotage or environmental catastrophe. Once any parameter fell out of its safety band, the reactor would shut down. Maybe not in the preferred way, but safely. Plus, power output of a plant is always the same amount as demanded by the grid. So if no one else is around to consume electricity, the plant would be pretty low power already. Large ships will be hard to handle. Tie up, load and operate alone. Your best bet is look at marinas for Nordhaven or other types of long-range yachts. Go to a hardware store. Get a generator and wiring to run fuel pumps to reload diesel fuel at ports. Canned goods and grocery stores will be good for a long time. Book idea. Damn, I live in Northeast US too, but didn't get past the part where I cry and do nothing. Be kinda world full of people, I'm already lonely. Commend you on this one. I definitely thought about this route too. Only difference is D-head. For Auckland, less killer creatures in NZ. Or so I've heard. Learn how to sail. Why not just stay stateside? Based on the winds and the few nuclear power plants the West Coast, you might be okay if you could somehow take care of the 2 power plants in Arizona and California, or if they ended up having the safety measures. I am not sure how hard it would be to put the control rods into place, but I might stop and try it. One location before considering my next move, but I also don't live on the East Coast, remember? You wouldn't know you were the last person alive. So I would want to be finding people I could speak with over people that speak a foreign language. Also, I would be trying to save other potential survivors from being irradiated. Here's a map of the world's nuclear power plants. After a few days, fail-safes in them are going to fail. Some will shut down without incident, but some will spew radioactive dust into the atmosphere and carry it by the winds. Extremely unlikely. Once they stop receiving input, they will automatically shoo it down and dump the radioactive load into a containment area. Take my gold. I don't actually have the money for it, so take an upvote. Going across the Pacific is very, very dangerous. By yourself, not knowing how to sail, you will probably not make it, unless you get a huge container ship and sail the right way. Then, zombies. My first thought was go back to sleep. My next thought was the nuclear power plants. Very happy someone else thought of that. I still hear my tinnitus, so I'm still grumpy. To get rid of it for a few minutes, put your palms on your ears. Then gently tap the back of your head with your fingers. Thanks for reminding me about that constant ringing in my ears. You're the last person on earth. You can just choose not to have tinnitus anymore. Poof, gone. Wonder why I wasn't invited to disappear with everyone. I guess you did believe in rapture like the rest of us. Ha, JK. Comment about how there is finally time at last, and then immediately break my glasses.